This week on Supercars Talk, I've got a new product to try and some technology in the shed. So first things first, I got myself a bottle of Ned whiskey. I couldn't buy this in stores. I did have to order it off the interwebs. Not going to plug anyone for where I had to get it from, but had to wait for it to come in the mail, which took quite a while. So as is customary now, you can see there's a seal on there. It's nearly got me beaten. There we go. Brand new bottle, no tricks, and I'll just pour myself on. That's quite a good amount, I think. Got some ice there, and we'll let that marinate. That was just the door slamming shut. We'll let that marinate for a few minutes. I'll just sort out the door, and then I'll come back with some news. There we go. Fix the door with a paint can. Hopefully that doesn't slam shut again. News this week. So, Scott McLaughlin went and tested an IndyCar properly this time with the rest of the field. I think the first day was totally washed out and they didn't get any testing. They got a little bit done on the second day. I think it was about 4 or 5 hours in the end. He ended up third fastest. That is impressive. He was half a second off Will Power's best time. Not sure exactly what the times were. It's around Coda 146 or something. Then, interestingly though, they went and a couple of the guys had a rookie test at the Texas Motor Speedway Friday, and Scotty went there and tested on the Super Speedway as well. So that's interesting in the fact that that's not just for him, running the road course at Indy. That's see how this bloke goes on the oval. So, we could well see him in IndyCar next year, I think. Roger wouldn't be spending the money to go and do this kind of stuff. I can see why they're testing him on a road course and that, but to actually put him on test him on a super speedway, they've got to be looking a little bit seriously at him for next year. As I said, they got 2 drivers out of contract, and potentially Pagenaud potentially moving on to greener pastures. And depending on Will Power's year, he was a little bit rocky last year. He did win 2 races late on. But compared to what Pagenaud and Newgarden did over the year, slightly probably disappointing from Power. There's been a slight tweak to the rules for this year. I know, another one. Second year drivers are going to get a test allocation as though they're a rookie driver. So the rookie drivers get 6 test days, where the normal guys get 3 test days. If you're a second year driver now, you also get that 6-day allocation. So someone like Macaulay Jones or Gary Jacobson, they get to have 6 test days again this year. And the idea of the rookies getting an extra 3 days of testing or double the testing, because they've got a lot to learn. They're new to the sport. It's an incentive that, it's so that there isn't so much of a disincentive not to have a rookie come in with testing so limited. So you get more test days, you can get them up to speed a bit quicker. And the idea with this is that you're not just, kind of signing a rookie each year just to get extra test days or something like that. Like, there is a bit of an incentive to keep them, have a 2-year program with them, so you get a bit of extra testing, they get a bit of extra knowledge. It's a bit better for everyone. Not a bad idea. And I don't, budget-wise, it's probably not going to be, a massive thing. It's not like they're going and doing, 100 days of testing or anything like, they kind of used to in the Group A days. The other little interesting bit of news during the week was that Shane Van Gisbergen is going to test that little GT steering wheel again. It's hard to describe here without a steering wheel, but The GT style cars, like, you know, the ones that race the Bathurst 12 hour, normal steering wheel's round. The V8 Supercar ones are kind of a D shape, so you can get your legs in underneath them. And the GT wheels are a bit more, I suppose, like a Formula One kind of open wheeler type setup, where you just have your hands on the side, and then there's no kind of wheel on the top or bottom, because you're effectively doing like that in the race car. So Triple Eight tried this at Sandown. I think Craig Lowndes drove with it. Wasn't the biggest fan, so they didn't go any further with it. Apparently they've refined it a bit more, and yeah, Shane's going to try it at the Bend and then decide whether they race with it this year. To me, this is ridiculous. Why is, you know, Triple Eight spending money on this? Why don't we just say, you know, we have one steering wheel provider. Maybe you can change your button layout or whatever on it, but we'll have one steering wheel for the category. Everyone buys the same one. They're all like $500 each or whatever. Done deal. This is just putting a cost into the category for absolutely no reason. Like, it makes, you know, bugger all difference. Okay, drivers have a bit of a different preference for the wheels and that, but if they all had the same and they didn't have any, you know, if they had no choice, well, they wouldn't have any preference. Everyone, yeah. This just seems one of those things like, let's shut it down now and then it can't get out of control. Like, that's just simple to me. Also, there was one signing during the week. An enduro drive has gone away, and that's Jack Perkins has signed on with, I suppose, Red 23, not Tickford. He signed on to partner Will Davison in the Enduros. He's doing the Super 2 series with Eggleston Motorsport, like doing the whole series this year. So I think that's probably a bit of the incentive to sign him. You know, one of the few guys that's doing Super 2 this year. There is a little bit of a, you know, reduced grid in Super 2 this year. Jack's doing the whole series, and he'll be doing the Enduros with Red 23. Obviously, didn't want to hang around at Walkinshaws, you know. Whatever happened there, happened there. But yeah, I think that's a really good signing for Red 23. And the first of the Tickford seats confirmed for the Enduros, actually. So, taste test time. You can actually see how quite warm it still is in Melbourne today. The ice is nearly melted. It's got that normal kind of whiskey smell. Nothing like the cinnamon we had the other week, but let's see how it goes. Ooh. Yep. Yep. That's a strong whiskey. It's good, but yeah. Maybe for my palate, maybe I could do with a bit of a mixer in there, because that's a big hit. Yeah. That's good. I think I might have pulled myself a bit too much. If I keep going on that, I might start slurring my words and be in trouble here. So, anyway, you might be wondering what the technology is here for. Well, I'm going to run through the paint jobs, and I thought this might be an easier way of doing it, because I can see them on the screen and kind of point out things and not have mistakes, like when I said HP wasn't on the Triple Eight car this year. We'll see how we go, because I'm new to this technology thing, so we'll see. I'll press next, and there should be another picture coming up here shortly. Finally got the next picture up. So that's another shot of the Triple Eight car. It actually, I think it looks a lot better when it's out on track. Those studio shots probably didn't do it justice. It's actually not too bad a looking race car. So there we go. As you can see, I think that looks a bit like Jamie taking some photos while Shane's been going around. Oh, we've skipped to the next photo. Yeah, it's not too bad, and I'll just pause this because that's going a bit fast. I think some of the disappointments of some of the other teams, which I'll get into as we roll through them, is probably making the Triple Eight beast look a little bit better. Okay, the first one that, you know, what changed? They're saying, you know, all new paint job. Well, yeah. I mean, I haven't put a photo of last year's car next to that, but to me that looks the same, other than it's now number 3, and I think that might be a lighter blue or something on there. So, you know, that's all that's changed, and Macca's got a bit of a new haircut. So, if that constitutes a new paint job, well, yeah, there we go, play. Yeah, all looks the same, you know, it's not so exciting. We've got Jack Smith's car here. Basically what they were running last year. It's, you know, what did we expect? Yeah, it is what it is, I suppose. Yeah, that's all I'm going to say about that one. So there it is from the back. Yeah, looks okay, you know, at the back of the field. Okay, the Percat Beast. This is going to be rolling sponsorship again this year. Yeah, it's basically, what was it, Bathurst last year? Slightly different, but yeah, yeah, it's a boring mobile paint job. The Brad Jones guys usually do some really good paint jobs on these cars, so yeah, I'm just flat with this one. Yeah, we haven't seen Todd Hazelwood's car yet, so it'll be interesting. I think that's still going to be an Alliance truck parts kind of, so it'll probably be pretty similar to what we had last year. Okay, this is a Super 2 car, but it is Will Brown's Erebus car. You can see it's sponsored by Erebus, so obviously the Penrite sponsorship doesn't quite go enough over the 3 cars. CRC, and that's about it. So I assume Betty's going into her pocket for this one, or, you know, yeah. Okay, the Penrite Mobile. This looks quite good. When I first saw it, I thought, because all these plain black through here is a bit plain. The detail on the flag and that, really good. And considering what a lot of the other teams come out with, it's you know, it's quite nice, new, fresh. They've put a little bit of work into it, so it looks a little bit different. There we go. Nice. I'm quite happy with it. So, you know, they've done a really good job. The Australian flag looks really good. You know, good Australian company. So, and the army's involved. So, I'm not sure why our taxpayer money pays for things like that, but you know, it's with Erebus. I quite like the 2 guys driving, well, the 3 guys driving there. So, and our product of the week. So, cheers, Ned. We'll have another sip of it before all the ice melts. Got a bit of condensation dripping off there. This car looks really good, I think. So, we'll go back to my great technology there. I really like this one. It's really smart. So, yeah, gets all the sponsorship across quite nicely. We saw this quite a while ago, so it's nothing new. Okay, Rick Kelly's Castrol car. When I was a little bit flat when I first saw this, I thought, because the Ultimas weren't great looking race cars, let's be honest, and the Castrol cars over the last couple of years I thought looked really good, and you know, I thought them going to the Mustangs with Castrol backing, I thought this would, you know, knock it out of the park. I was a little bit flat when I first saw it. I did actually see a mock-up of it, and I thought, no, that's not. And then it came out looking like that. But as I've said with a few others, considering what some of the others have done, I think this looks quite good. So, yeah, it's a good job. The first of the Matt Stone cars. So this is the super light car that's going to be shared between Zane Goddard and Jake Kostecki. Looks really good. As we can see, ABC Building Products, which is the Zane Goddard sponsor, and Arco World, which is the Kostecki sponsor. I wonder if those 2 sponsors are putting in a lot more than that one. That I'm wondering. Yeah, so It it looks bloody good though. So a few people have said about the colours maybe not working once you get it on the track and on TV and that. Um, but I think if we just judge it off these studio shots, probably probably one of my favourite cars at the moment. So as you can see, it looks really smart in my opinion. That's another angle there with the boys in the background. For some reason, there's a motorbike there and a helicopter. Not sure how that all ties in, but yeah, looks pretty cool. And to the people saying it's not going to look any good once it hits the track, I'll just I'm trying to go back there, but I don't. It doesn't seem to be really working. I'm not good at this technology, but it did look good on the track. And here's the two boys that are going to be driving the car. So, oh, there we go. That actually, to me, that looks quite smart on the track. So, okay, there's the two boys. Dirty mustache here, and even less of a mustache there. So they are young. Okay, the Gary Jacobson, the second Matt Stone racing car. It's okay. I'm not sure what this yellow cover thing is. I think it might be some. Well, I assume the cover, some kind of insurance. Might have to look it up. It says powered by NTI, which I think they had something on the car last year that was powered by NTI. Actually, I don't. I think it was on the Techno car that had something powered by NTI, which I assume is some big umbrella corporation that has these ones underneath it. It looks okay, for a car that's going to be at the back of the grid. Well, yeah, it looks okay. Thomas Randall's Super 2 entry. So I thought that the Sky Sands was a really, really, really sexy paint job last year. That black and gold on the FGX Falcon looked really, really good. Doesn't really translate to the Ultima, and that's what I've been saying, like with the Castrol sponsorship that looked so good on the Ultima. I thought that was going to translate really well onto the Mustang, because this one's gone the other way, and what's essentially the same paint job, it just doesn't hit the mark for me. So, oops, how did that get in there? There we go. The Penske paint job for the year. Oh, wait, that's on an FGX Falcon. There it is on the Mustang. Oh, wait, that's last year's. It's going to look like that. I mean, the sponsor, I think Bow Repairs is now down here. Not sure if Sharp's still there, things like that. But essentially, that's going to be the paint job. It's not going to change. Yeah. Okay, another one that, let's copy and paste the paint job from year to year. It seems to be this year it's generally either let's make it worse or let's just use Control C, Control V. That's copy and paste. I do know some technology. So I have to admit though, it does look pretty good for blue and yellow. I mean, yeah, you're stuck with those colours for the team. Yeah, I would have probably preferred a bit of, that Erebus kind of with the metallic silver and that on there. But, this looks good. Scott Pye's entry, that looks really good. Guaranteed tough. The car does look tough. Yeah, makes the teammate's car look a bit ordinary. Haven't seen any photos of them next to each other, but I think when you see the two next to each other, this one is really going to stand out a lot better. It's good how sometimes this seems to flow really quickly through the photos and then slowly through some of the others. So, yeah, I'm really impressed with this one. They've done a really good job. And good to see, kind of, DeWalt and Irwin are owned by the same parent company. But good to see them, stepping up. They're obviously quite happy with, Charlie's team. The Coca-Cola car, we saw this the other year, or the other week. We did see it a few years ago, the Wayne Gardner mobile. They did the share a Coke with James. You know, the bit of a thing at the moment. You can buy your Cokes with share a Coke with bro or whatever and things like that. So, yeah, hopefully that's not the finished article because it seems to be missing some other sponsors. But you never know these days. That could be all the money that they've got, the Coke money and then the Team Techno family money. Oh, and also the Team Sydney money coming in. So, yeah, possibly we might see a bit more at the test day next week, or maybe they're waiting for a big unveil just before Adelaide, or maybe that's it. I mean, that's okay. Coca-Cola stands out, doesn't it? So, kind of gets its point across. My favourite car from last year, now with a green grille. So, another copy and paste one. A bit like the Red Bull ones and that, though, you know, Monster kind of, they have a lot of say in what paint job's going to look like. So, it's never going to change much. You can see the green highlights on the grille there. It's a good looking car. And it's funny because I make fun of, you know, the Coke one being so plain. Granted, okay, if we took off all these other sponsors, this would be extremely plain as well. But I really like this with the flat black. And this year, it's the photos apparently don't do it justice. But instead of wrapping the car with a flat black wrap, they've actually painted the car to get a really good flat black finish apparently. So it would be good to see what this is like actually on TV when it gets out on the track. The Red 23 car. So yeah, I'm not sure. They've gone for that more simplistic look. I personally think that it looked better last year. It maybe on track because this Milwaukee logo, I'm not sure why they don't make it bigger. You know, maybe angle it a bit more. I've heard Milwaukee's, you know, very strict about the font size and things like that. But if it was me, you know, you'd probably have the E up there and the M kind of, and you know, the lightning bolt or whatever down a bit lower, but really make it, you know, go right down the side of the car. Interestingly, Coca-Cola features on this car too. It's not bad, you know, it's got kind of the Mustang GT stripe thing happening in that. But yeah, I still think that needs to be done. If you're not going to have sponsors in there, fill it in. And there's the new co-driver signing, Jack Perkins. He looks quite smart in his red shirt and that. The Supercharged car. Yeah. Last year when this came out, it was, it's Jack LeBrock now, not Chaz Mostert. This was pretty ordinary when it came out last year. It was an absolute mess, in my opinion. I'm not sure, I haven't put photos side by side, but this year it just seems to be a hell of a lot smarter. Not sure if we've got more and more used to it, but everything just seems to blend a little bit better. The sponsors seem to be in the same kind of position. There seem to be, you know, the same kind of layout and that. It just, something about it just looks better. So, good job there. Yeah, just quite happy with that for some reason now. If you haven't got anything nice to say, don't say anything. This sponsor as well, I'm still not sure about that. I thought they were getting a proper sponsor for the car. We see Napa Auto Parts is actually on the car properly. Truck assists on there as well. Kind of a bit of a, you know, they're getting, actually there's that powered by NTI that I was on about before. So that's where we saw it last year. So, you know, they're on a few cars because we haven't seen Lee Holdsworth's car yet, which is going to be a full truck assist car. Yeah, this is, yeah, it's not too bad from the front with the mobile and stuff. This dark blue and this light blue, just, I don't know, it just doesn't kind of work for me. So, See, we've got the big mustard. Oh, there's another angle of it. So, yeah. I think that pretty much sums up what I think of it. And these red accents don't really seem to do much for it either. It's kind of fine, but this light blue is the dark blue. So, anyway, I did this before the actual paint job came out. And, yeah, my great, not Photoshop skills, paint skills. So in old MS Paint, I converted this over. Basically just went, well, it's going to be Mitty's car. I'll change that crappy light blue to pink and write Mitty's on there. And as you can see, I was pretty bloody close. I wasn't far off. I had data and electrical on there instead of just electrical. So, and with my paint skills, I couldn't get the logo on there. So, funnily enough, I think in the pink it looks a lot better. The light blue, the pink, yeah, it seems to work better. And I suspect that maybe this paint job got designed before the other one. So, yeah, we run through. It makes the red not look quite as yuck, I suppose. Just overall, I prefer this one. So, yeah, it's overall though a bit disappointing considering what the paint jobs of Walkinshaw used to have when it was the old HRT. Generally, they were the best in the field. We're back to the start. So that covers off all the paint jobs. So far, unlike in previous years where it's been, we had like an LDM or something where you didn't even know who was driving. Currently this year, the second Techno car, or Team Sydney, we don't know who's driving. We don't know what sponsor. We don't know anything. I'd had heard that Caruso was in the running for that, but I think he's signing with he's signed with Gary Rogers to run one of those alphas in the TCR. So I think you wouldn't sign on to a full campaign if you'd actually signed on there. So it's probably Chris Pither's name keeps popping up, so possibly there. And Icebreak Money is mentioned every time Chris Pither's name is mentioned. So hopefully we find that out Tuesday. Yeah, we'll see. And obviously the Holdsworth and the Hazelwood cars haven't been released yet. And then it looks like this year we're going to get the Percat car a couple of days before every round. So that'll be fun to keep an eye on that. But overall, the slightly underwhelming, the paint jobs this year. It's, for a long time it's been quite exciting, the new paint jobs coming out. Yeah, there's a lot of driver movements and stuff happening at the moment that seems to be more exciting than the paint jobs. And also the way that we've had so many paint jobs come out within 1 week. So you lose a bit of that, luster where in previous years you'd kind of, from the first week of January you'd have people kind of drip feeding ones, whereas, we've had 2 or 3, I think there was possibly 3 on one day this week where gets a little bit lost having that many at the same time. Yeah, so overall a little bit disappointing. Yeah, that's not looking so bad now, is it? So that's it for this episode. It's out a little bit early this week. What I'm going to try and do is a little quick wrap up after the test day, and hopefully cover off the last couple of paint jobs for the year. And until then, I'll see you later. Inhibitions, let the beast in you just get loose. We all young, wild and different. We can all get lit from a little goose. I know you're terrified by what